Hello?
Ross,
Yes.
how are you? Lou Bruno, you are on WRLR 98.3 FM.
Hi, Lou.
Taking the pulse of Lake County. Hey, before anything else, say hello to my companions here tonight, Jill Hughes and Terry Cox.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me again.
No, it's always great and to talk to you. It's obviously serious business, but particularly in terms of what our show does, we're very excited because you're, especially trying to get first responders educated on the issues you're having, and that led to the creation of the foundation. So first of all, how are you? I understand you had a slight accident.
I had a little fall and some rib issues, but I'm gonna be okay.
Oh, that's good to hear. You sound great. You sound better than ever.
Well, sometimes I get lucky. You sound good.
Well, I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm a little bit gravelly tonight, but the heart issues are progressing well. And
Good, Lou. That's terrific.
I look forward to seeing you soon. If I don't see you beforehand, I am going to be out at the Evening of Enlightenment on October the 12th.
Well,
this
we
year.
sure appreciate your ongoing support to this serious issue, and much appreciated, Lou.
Yeah. And, guys, this is the 6th annual fundraiser. And you could not believe, if you go to the website, gpffoundation.org, and you see all the people that Ross and his wife have mobilized and gotten involved in their mission. It's just amazing. Your growth has just been, how should we say it? Exponential, as they say.
Well, Lou, thank you. But I would like to clarify, though, that Nancy and I are co-founders, but there are others who have been there with us from the beginning, shoulder to shoulder, and have joined since. And it takes a village. It's an unbelievable team of volunteers and professionals, everyone who cares about this epidemic that's occurring and helping. We're all working together to save lives. So it's a team sport.
Yeah. If you could put out a little bit, again, for our listeners who may be first time hearing you, the mission of the GPF Foundation and the unfortunate tragedy that led to, your mission and the starting of the foundation.
Well, the foundation was established shortly after the tragic passing of our 27-year-old son, Greg, who unfortunately was provided an adulterated Molly, MDMA, in California at a concert by an old childhood friend who had purchased it off the streets of San Francisco. And it was an immediate terrible reaction for our son, and he suffered for a week, slipping ultimately into psychosis and a psychotic break. And Greg sought medical help midway through the week with his primary care physician, who did not understand the situation, the emergency, or he wasn't listening to the serious words that Greg was telling him, that how Greg was feeling, slipping into a portal to hell in a parallel universe, and the physician merely prescribed prescription drugs to Greg to treat anxiety and sleeplessness, which was the opposite of what Greg needed. It's like pouring kerosene on a fire, and a couple of days later, Greg died tragically. And so in response to that, a number of close friends and family and us got together to establish the Gregory Paul Friedman Foundation, GPF Foundation, to try and figure out what this was all about. 6 years ago, the fentanyl crisis had not yet really emerged, and so it wasn't well known that the adulteration, the deadly additives that were being included in the development of these illicit street drugs that millions and millions of people around the country and that many more around the world, frankly, just party every now and then. We're not talking about addiction here. This is just party drugs. And so we set out on this journey with a mission to support education, appropriate treatment, and overall awareness of the dangers related to recreational drugs. And our journey focuses on a number of initiatives. One is presenting a educational format to the demographic most likely to party with recreational drugs, ages 15 to 35. And we talk in these presentations about this is not a just say no campaign. We don't condone nor condemn the use of drugs. We aim to educate. So if someone chooses to use, that they might do so more thoughtfully, more aware, reduce their risk. This is a harm reduction approach, and if something should still go wrong, which with fentanyl and the deadly additives today, it's only an increased epidemic, frankly, that they know the signs or those with them and where to get help. And then we train the medical community for appropriate diagnosis and treatment of these issues. And we are proud to say that we created an app last year of a simulated event similar to our son's in which the individual is in a hospital ER. Unfortunately, Greg never made it there. And it walks medical professionals around the world on their in a 10-minute or so simulated environment, how to diagnose this issue and then properly treat it. And that's been played about 100,000 times worldwide at this point.
That's
so
awesome.
We're very proud of that. And Lou, you mentioned the first responder program. That's our latest educational approach, which we are just starting to roll out, in which we present and train first responders, police, fire, and EMT in appropriate understanding of this issue, where in their situation as first responders, and how to again appropriately assess and move forward to save lives.
I'm just
Jill, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. And first of all, I'm very sorry to hear about your son, but I'm so excited that you're doing this for other people, and you will be saving lives, definitely. But I'm wondering if the people involved, once they've taken these drugs, are too scared to say anything to the doctors or the hospital because they think they might get arrested or their friends might get arrested, and so it doesn't go down the right channel.
Very, very good point, and thank you for your kind words. That is an issue which a number of agencies and law enforcement and politicians and the public is starting to address more thoroughly. There's amnesty programs on campuses now where individuals who help someone in need, even though they may have taken an illicit drug themselves, are not at risk of being punished or arrested. And so these programs are making it more and more accessible to get help. In fact, here in Lake County, the former state's attorney, Mike Neerheim, created a program with his police force throughout Lake County called A Way Out. And their tagline was, their approach was just to this point to encourage folks who are in need, whether it's a drug-related emergency or mental health or violence, to feel comfortable walking into your nearest police station in Lake County. And their tagline is where you will receive a hug in lieu of handcuffs. And so that's a magnificent program that we've been inspired by in many ways as a foundation. So much so that Mike Nerheim, who is no longer the Lake County State's attorney, he is now a Lake County judge, serves on the board of the GPF Foundation. So society might be moving forward a bit in that regard, but we have a long way to go.
Yeah, I think one good thing, and probably Terry would even be able to comment a little bit more specifically. From time to time, we've had police chiefs in on the show, and most of them are offering their police departments drug surrendering stations or boxes, and they've made it clear, no questions asked. If you're giving something up, and even if it's a prohibited substance, they're just happy to get it out of the wrong hands, get it out of a dangerous situation. On it. Terry, go ahead.
Get it disposed of properly.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. But first responders are and part of our training program focuses in part on the use of Narcan, which is saving lives left and right. And there's no downside, it turns out, to using Narcan. If it saves lives in the event of an opioid emergency or overdose in fentanyl, it will not address something other than that, but it will not harm the individual either. So there's no downside risk for first responders to utilize Narcan, and it very often does save lives. So there are some tools that are starting to be utilized, and we're assisting in getting the word out and training in all regards.
Yeah. Now Narcan is available over the counter now.
Right. I was just going to ask that.
Yeah.
It is correct.
And there's plenty of instructional videos and how to use the material out there if you're reluctant to have it for that reason. But that's a great tool.
And the first responders, the people that are administering this, the people on the street as first responders are taught how to defend themselves, because sometimes when they come out of this,
Right, they're not happy.
they're not happy.
Yeah.
That happens as well, but it's so much bigger than that and broader, and so it's there's a lot to discuss and a lot to educate about, and clearly it's an epidemic with 100,000 or so deaths the last 2 years related to this issue, fentanyl and adulterated drug use, and so it's clearly something we need to work at, and at the GPF Foundation we're extremely focused and proud and elevated by the strong partnerships that we've established with institutions such as Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science. That's in North Chicago, right here in our backyard in Lake County. It's a fine medical institution, and they have been right there at our side, significantly creating simulation modules and a fellowship program with us, and publishing articles, researching with us, and as well, we partner with North Shore University Health System and their hospitals. It's just Lake Forest College has been very instrumental in providing us with phenomenal young adult interns, and on and on and on. We just are blessed with people who care and have knowledge and want to try to make the world a better, safer place. And here in Lake County, we're fortunate to have a lot of that.
Now, October the 12th is your annual fundraiser, and I will tell you, last year, obviously during the pandemic, you weren't getting people there in person, and we're doing online events, but I got to go and attend in person last year, and I just had a fascinating time with the guests that you had, the speakers that you had, the information that was there, and I know this year's program looks just as great. So tell a little bit about the October event, October 12th event.
Thank you, Lou, for that lead up. We worked very hard at creating an enjoyable evening, one that includes good drink and food and camaraderie, and then an update on what the GPF Foundation has accomplished the last year and what we hope to the next year, and how we will go about doing that. And that's a brief discussion. We're fortunate to have an award-winning videographer on our team who helps create and leads the effort in building phenomenal videos and visual effects. And each year we bring a special keynote speaker to the event. We've had astronaut and illusionist and last year we had a theoretical physicist who just knocked our socks off. It was amazing.
I bought a couple of his books right afterwards. Yeah.
Well, this year we have Larry Potash, the WGN news anchor in Chicago, returning as our MC of the event. He's amazing, and we're so fortunate that he does that and other give backs to us. It's just a great guy and so professional. And we have Don Winslow, who is traveling here, who is an accomplished New York Times best-selling author. He's written over 20 novels. He happens to have focused significantly on the cartel and the drug trade, has a lot of knowledge and information in that, which happens to tie in directly to what's going on with fentanyl and adulteration and the deaths. And so we're very excited that Don is coming to be our keynote speaker this year. We're calling the event an Evening of Enlightenment, and we're also very proud that we'll be airing a proprietary video, which was an interview with a local native from Northbrook, basketball great John Shire, who took Glenbrook North High School to a state championship and then Duke University to a national championship, and now has replaced Coach Krzyzewski at Duke as the head coach. So
talking about filling big shoes,
big shoes for a young man. He's an accomplished, amazing young man, and we have a wonderful video that we'll be airing with him and his mentor, who will be at the event, and just very excited about that, and thankful, Lou, that you find it enjoyable, and we work hard to try to accomplish it.
And an amazing evening, and great food, actually.
Well, it is our key fundraiser for the year too. So I mean, we are a nonprofit. Everything it's a philanthropic enterprise, and so this is how we raise the capital to build our programs and address this mission of saving lives.
If you want to know more about the GPF Foundation and the event coming up in October, how do you do that?
Well, first, just to reiterate, it is Thursday, October 12th, 6 p.m. at Northmore Country Club in Highland Park. And if you'd like to learn more about the foundation and the event, and perhaps even register, please visit our website, which is gpffoundation.org. It's all there.
I hear you're getting around, even though I guess you're not riding a bike for a little while. To those that don't know, Ross stays in great shape by doing a lot of biking. But I guess you're not doing that for a while.
Well, hopefully I'll be back in the saddle pretty soon.
Good.
I'll be able to see you and the gang soon. And a shout out to them. I miss you guys and hope to see you soon.
And I'm looking forward to seeing yourself, Ross, and then seeing Nancy at the dinner, your lovely wife. And just to come out and meet Ross and Nancy, two of the nicest people you ever meet. It's worth it.
Well, back at you, Lou. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
All right, Ross. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Be well.
You
Good
too,
evening.
everyone.